And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the third series of the broadcast, our third best of 5, as we are jumping into the preliminary stage of the Maestros of the Game tournament. Here we go. We have another PvT ready for you and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Gresvan. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player for Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Yo, we got all the StarCraft 2 posters in the background. Let's go. But we have SKillous and we do have Bunny. Here we go as we are jumping into our fresh best of 5, and once again we are jumping into Gresvan. We were just here just a moment ago, but now we start the series on a very old map in the tournament map pool. Once again, to reiterate, this tournament does feature an extended map pool with some of the older and even some newer maps that can be featured. We have gotten rid of ley lines, Last Fantasy, and torches. They have been gotten rid of. And if you're in the chat, before I forget, you know what time it is? It is soon to be Gamma time. Hold on, I just have to quickly get something ready. There we go. Have to pay out the predictions for the previous series. But yes, if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as predictions are open. Also, a big shout to Cosmos. Obrigado, papi, obrigado. Papi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cosmos, for the raid. Hope you had a great time. Hope everything's okay. For those that are curious, Cosmos, the raid that we just got during the break, he is the Brazilian stream, the Portuguese stream, and he was covering this event, but it looks like maybe something has come up, but it did end up heading off. But thank you so much for the raid nonetheless. Hope everything's okay. Hope everything's going well. Take care, baby. Take care. Este Cosmos. Here we go. Voten por el pan con chicharrón. Papi, ¿de qué estás hablando, papi? What are you talking about? Ay. ¿Quién come pan con chicharrón? ¿De qué estás hablando? From here, we have our check of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council opener out of SKillous, to be expected. Meanwhile, Bunny back at home is going for an economic opener. Racks expand into a delayed factory here instead, so more economic out of our Terran. So a very different approach compared to what Gabe was going for. Gabe, 2 out of 3 games, he did open up with a faster factory with double gas. That is not the case here for Bunny. Is not the case. Now, Bunny is one of the more aggressive Terran players out there. We speak about this all the time, especially when it comes to the Korean scene. Byun, he's probably the most macro-oriented Terran player in South Korea. When it comes to all the other Terran players like Maru, Gumiho, Bunny, Ryung, Kyor, they're much more aggressive earlier on. Now, I don't really know how to favor early aggression on Gresvan. Again, Gresvan is a larger map, longer rush distance by ground. We'll see how Bunny does kind of approach this game. We'll see where he takes us. For now, opening up Cyclone, safety bunker here on the low ground. We're calming down. On the side of SKillous, we do have a 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink Stalker should be on the horizon here, as there it is. A 3rd gateway is on the way into blink with a robo on 2 bases. Delayed 3rd. Again, this has become the standard. This has become the go-to. 3-gate blink, robo on 2 bases into a delayed 3rd. Just because of how aggressive Terran players have been in recent months. Desayuno, tacos de chicharrón, so close. Oh no. Oh no. Fun fact, I actually had chicharrón yesterday. Technically, this morning for breakfast, did have chicharrón. Chicharrón con yuca y camote frito. Sí. Ese era mi desayuno. Oh god. Oh, the Spanish in the chat. For now, though, it is going to be a Banshee follow-up. Okay, so we have initially Cyclone, then into Double Tech Lab, into Cloak Banshee tank production, into a 3rd TC. Okay, it's a very tech-heavy follow-up, I will say that at least, but we are going for an economic follow-up afterwards here. Delayed 2nd and 3rd racks in favor of a 3rd CC. So we are building up in towards a longer game, in towards the mid-game. Meanwhile, SKillous, he has map control. Of course, he has his, so my apologies, I said 3-gate blink. 4-gate blink stalker, hyper aggression out of SKillous. So with this, he is not expanding. He's going for a much later expansion. He's going for an extra gateway, much more blink stalkers. Now he's pushing in, and he's looking to dive into the bases. We have one tank on the low ground, but we do not have a tank in the main. The main base is exposed, and SKillous, he can just overwhelm here and now. He's going for it. He can go for the kill. Dives into the main base. Quick Banshee, no detection. True. No detection here, but the tank is exposed. We can dive on the tank, we can get into the mineral line, and even dive on the add-ons. As the tank does go... Oh! Miscontrol! Yeah, it does misclick. There we go, tank does go down. But zero detection across the map, and the Banshees, they will hold. But here comes the Observer. Observer moves in, Banshees are exposed, and SKillous, he can overwhelm. He can overwhelm here and now. Diving on the final tank. Banshees, they should be targeted. We have a bit of an A move there. A couple of stalkers are being thrown away, but overall, SKillous, he will take over the main base, and he is here to take a lead in the series. Again, just hyper aggression out of SKillous, and Bunny never scouted. He never scouted the main base. He had no idea what SKillous was up to. GG gets called, and SKillous takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG well played, a hyper-aggressive build. Again, something very rare nowadays. We do not often get to see 4-gate blink stalkers, not anymore. But alas, Gressvan, hey, back in the day, a couple of years ago, 4-gate blink was actually in the meta. This is back when max packs almost purely went 4-gate blink stalker. As you can see, the main base on Gressvan is so large, it's so wide, there's so much room to kind of go into the main base, and hey, SKillous bringing it back. Does bring it back, does take a lead. Does take a lead, and with that, SKillous takes the first game, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Quickly double checking here, what exactly is the map order? Okay, so game 1 is Gressvan, game 2 Maganatha, game 3 Tokamak, game 4 Incorporeal, and game 5 is going to be on Persephone. Beautiful. Okay. So we have our map order, we have our setup here. Game 2 is going to be on Maganatha, again, one of the largest map in the map pool, very large map. Longer rushes and spike rounds, and we'll see how our players do adjust here. Again, I'm sure after game 1, Bunny is going to be a little more on point and a little more diligent when it comes to scouting. When it comes to figuring out what exactly SKillous is up to. Again, Bunny, he was playing blind. Go punish for it. Did get punished. Really poor build order matchup winning. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Again, like this, we were all kind of blind in how we were opening up. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the blue Protoss player. We have our blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. Here we go. So we are going to be settling into game number 2. And we'll see how our players do decide to open up here on Maganatha. Now, I don't expect to see SKillous go 4-gate blink again. I'll be honest, I don't expect to see that again in this series. Kind of a one and done sort of deal, especially on Gressland where it can be a little bit more ideal, where it can hit a little bit harder. There are other maps where it can be more difficult. As you can see here, we have a bit of a more difficult road into the main base. There is going to be a Reaper Cliff, of course, but it's going to be a little bit less accessible to dive into the main. We're expecting something more safe and standard out of SKillous, but I will do a better job when it comes to counting gateways. Like, I just made the assumption that we were going to be cutting at 3 gateways and then focus on what Bunny was up to, and we'll keep a better eye on SKillous. Keep a better eye on. Also, I'll flip the players over. Bam. Beautiful. We'll flip them over. From here, once again, economic opener out of Bunny, forced to delay his CC by a second or two. SKillous was being as annoying as possible. Nicely done. SKillous does keep his probe hidden. Make sure it doesn't get caught up by the Reaper before going back in. But again, there is no Reaper, it is Marine first. Which means Bunny, he'll have very limited scouting information once again. Probe is going to be zoned away. Early Tech Lab on the racks. From here, we're expecting an add-on swap into Cyclone, or we could even keep the Tech Lab on the racks for early Marauder. Meanwhile, SKillous does mix things up. There's the add-on swap, but SKillous, not a Twilight Council, opening up Stargate instead. Let's go. Again, I'm quite fond of these Stargate openers, especially on larger maps. Maps like Tokamak, Maganatha, or potentially even Torches. Torches has its place, of course. Not in this tournament. But we do have Stargates. With this, we can open up Orchid Harass or get into Phoenixes for map control to shut down drop play to contain the Terran. Of course, with the rise of 2-base all-ins, Stargate openers have fallen out of fashion and fallen out of favor. But again, still viable to get into every now and then, depending on the map. Phoenix production has begun. And Bunny has 0 scouting information and won't have any until he can get into his drop play. Medevac is on the way for the Marine, Cyclone drop. As Bunny is playing blind. Phoenixes are massing. Now, there is a world where, because Bunny is blindly going to get into his drop play, he may end up losing this, which would be brutal. Yeah, Probe Scout does get eyes on the would-be medevac drop. SKillous, he knows what's coming his way. And the Phoenixes are preparing. Oh boy. And remember, Bunny doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's walking into. Stalkers do spread out. Drop is spotted. SKillous does pull away. Phoenix, they can lift. And the Stalker does go down. Yeah, it doesn't save the Stalker, but the Cyclone will fall. Overall, a better trade for SKillous, as he will catch the medevac and he will clean everything up. Do we unload in time? Can we save the Marines? He saves 2. Not even. We'll lose the medevac. We'll lose everything. With that, Bunny, he will lose map control, force back home. And again, the role here for these Phoenixes is just to contain. Just contain the Terran. And even pick off a couple of SCVs. Not bad. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3 SCV kills. Behind this, not going for the Robo into Phoenix Colossus, going into Twilight Council into Charge instead. So Phoenix +1 and Charge lots on the way. So far, a better start for SKillous. Bunny's moving out. Again, these Phoenixes, they can have a hard time defending early on. We pull the boys, we come in on 2 bases. Oh, but he gets scouted. It is spotted here by SKillous. He is now aware. The boys are being pulled. And SKillous, can he survive this? Phoenixes, they can pick off the tanks at least, they can catch some reinforcements, but overall the Phoenixes, they're kind of dead weight here. And we spoke about it at the start of this game, about how because of the meta of 2-base all-ins, that's why we rarely see Stargate openers anymore, and we're seeing it here and now. Here comes the all-in. And the Phoenixes, they're quite limited in what they can do. Charge is not yet ready. Yeah, charge isn't ready, we got the bunkers on the way. Bunny is setting up. Oh no! Another Phoenix goes down. Brutal pickup. Another Phoenix falls. Bunny is getting on top of the natural. Charge is complete. And can SKillous get on top of these tanks? Oh, tanks on siege. Yeah, tanks are on siege. A lot of Phoenixes go down. And brutal positioning there from SKillous. But only one tank is firing. Does he have enough zealots? He doesn't. Yeah, not enough zealots. It is not enough, and Bunny, he has done it. He has broken the back of SKillous. Breaks through the third base, breaks into the natural. Again, just a really rough position there for those Phoenixes. And GG gets called. Bunny ties things up. We have it back and forth. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And again, we saw kind of, again, the big reason as to why we have seen less Stargate openers in recent times, in recent meta, is because of these 2-base all-ins. Phoenixes, they really do struggle against that when we do decide to pull the boys, just because Phoenixes, they can lift up a unit at a time, and as long as you have Marines in position to protect your tanks, the Phoenixes, they cannot get much done. So really rough setup there from SKillous. It was also difficult because SKillous' Phoenixes were actually on the same side as the Marines, so they actually couldn't bypass the Marines well enough to get on top of the tanks. So it was a rough position. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. We have a back and forth. Who takes a lead in the series? We go. The whole position SCV are the MVPs, man. True, true. Held the line. Maybe instead of making extra Phoenixes, you could make more Oracles. I mean, it's... Oracles, you can argue that maybe they can like pop up with a stasis trap potentially. It is reliant on your opponent maybe not seeing that, but I don't think that would change necessarily the outcome of that game. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 3 and spawning in the top right hand corner here of Tokamak. We have the red Terran player, we have the South Korean Terran representing Team Falcons. It is a Bunny. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player for Team Liquid. It is SKillous. We go. Catching the chat. Yeah, as we mentioned, like again, stasis traps have potential to pop off, but again, you're heavily reliant on Bunny not seeing the stasis trap and running into it. You could argue maybe that's a better chance than having extra Phoenixes. Maybe. So we're getting into game 3. Welcome all to Tokamak. Tokamak, also one of the larger maps in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground, more defendable on 3 and 4 bases as well. And I don't really expect to see SKillous going for another Stargate opener again so soon, but I'm curious just because SKillous has gone for something different every game. Game 1 was 4-gate Blink, Game 2 was Stargate into Phoenixes. I appreciate that we've seen a lot of variety already out of SKillous. Show us what you got in Game 3. I feel like Tokamak would be mapped to just play standard and just go 3-gate Blink, but once again, Bunny opening up economically, going Rax Expand, has done so every game so far in the series. We go. Players are setting up. There's the Adam Slope. So once again, we have the same opener here. Ranks expand into Cyclone follow-up, into, I would imagine, drop play. But this time, SKillous does open up Twilight Council. So Twilight Council into Blink. We'll keep a better eye on the Gateway count this time. Keep an eye on him. We'll see if we go 2-gate Blink, 3-gate, or 4-gate Blink Stalker. Test is SKillous. Oh. SKillous moves in, does get the setup. Is aware. Oh, gonna be opening up Charge. Okay. Does go for Charge instead of Blink. Once again, going for something different. Going into early Charge here can be ideal against something like a 2-base all-in. Imagine last game, for example, earlier Charge means you can engage earlier on as well before the bunkers get up and running. Is in a way a safer way to open up. The downside, of course, is you have no counterplay against drops. Harder to shut them down, and here comes the initial drop out of Bunny. Does move out. We'll see what Bunny can get done. In a longer game, this typically leads into Storm. So we get the drop into the main. Remember, there is no Blink, so the first Stalker should be going down. And Bunny goes further in. Cyclone does fall though. You're not able to save it. He will lose the medevac. Up! Oh, barely does boost away. Whew, does boost away in time, but not the best trade here for Bunny. Trading a Cyclone for a Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. Bunny does escape. Back at home, getting into earlier Stim. Interesting. Stim is going to be finishing up much earlier on. Tanks are amassing as well. And Bunny, he does move out. And here we go, we pull the boys. 2-base all in at a Bunny. This time this will hit with Stim. Stim is finishing up, and SKillous is aware what's coming his way. Remember, he does already have Charge. Building up Immortal Shield Batteries in production as well. We'll see if SKillous can engage ahead of time. There's going to be 3 Shield Batteries here at the third. Bunny rotating over towards the natural. SKillous not quite in position. Heck, no Shield Batteries at the natural. No shot. The setup is on the other base. Tanks do siege. SKillous going for the dive. Does try to rush in. The SCVs do a great job tanking. An amazing job tanking. Yeah, the Marines, they do survive. Stim is done. Robo gets depowered. And we have all these shield batteries that aren't really going to help. Oh. That does force some friendly fire. Getting some of the wire. Getting some of the Marines, but not enough Zealots. Not enough Zealots here. Immortal goes down. Stalkers as well. And Bunny, he has done it. He has done it. He has broken through. Breaks through the defenses. Takes down the Immortals. The Zealots. The everything. Boys are being pulled, but too little too late. There's 1 Zealot left. And Bunny will overwhelm. SKillous, he saw the all-in coming his way. Unfortunately, he had all the setup here at the other expansion. Likewise, he was late to keep up with the rotation as well. And SKillous, he cannot keep up. He cannot defend. The production is exposed. 3 gateways get depowered. And Bunny just rallying in. At this point, just rallying on forward. Does get 1 tank. I mean, SKillous, he still has an economy to work with. Losing the space isn't the biggest of deals. Banking on more Zealots. He's banking in the main. Now Bunny can head on over to the third. Oh god, the tanks, they are so secure. As the tanks are just surrounded by bunkers. Mining's being denied. And Bunny will overwhelm. It gets into the middle line, more probes going down as well. The shield batteries at this point, they do nothing. It's not good enough, man. And SKillous just processing the game here as GG gets called. Bunny, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. 1 game away from advancing on into the group stage. GG. GG well played. A much faster series this time between Bunny and SKillous compared to the previous PvT. Bunny with a non-stop 2 base all-ins. Again, SKillous, he did have a better showing this time. He had a better defense, but alas, unfortunate that he was unable to keep up with the army movement of Bunny as Bunny rotated over towards the natural. Likewise, he wasn't quite set up for it when it comes to his army, when it comes to his side defense either. Was a little bit unfortunate there. GG. GG, well played. Bunny does overwhelm. And now we're getting into our next game, and I'll be honest, I feel like Bunny, there might not be too much reason not to go for the same build. He's done it twice now, and may as well do it again. Oh no. Up next, we're leading into Incorporeal. Incorporeal's up next. Another one of these larger maps. It's a little bit more quirkier. So the bases are more spread out, but I don't think Bunny really intends to get into a longer game. Not here, not in this series. Oh boy. Let's go. Supply blocks. Ah, there you go. There you go. Didn't quite notice, but unfortunate supply block is where as well. Out of SKillous. Ah, it's unfortunate. As here we go. We're getting into game number 4. Potentially the final game of the series. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss for Team Liquid. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran. We have the South Korean Terran for Team Falcons. It is Bunny. We go. Unfortunate supply block as well for SKillous. Aye, aye, aye. As we are opening up, every game so far, Bunny has gone for the Rax Expand. We're expecting that again here. Into Cyclone drop. True. Even game 1 did go for it. As I would imagine if SKillous does expect the same builds again in this series, we should be seeing an earlier charge base opener, but we'll keep an eye on SKillous. Sorry, not game 1, game 2. That's what I meant to say. So my mind was blanking on Gressman. There goes CC on low ground. Once again goes for the Marine. No SCV scout, no Reaper scout, no nothing out of Bunny. Doesn't care what SKillous is up to. I'm good. Not too concerned. So we have the same setup here. So Marine into Tech Lab, into Add-on Swap, into Cyclone is what we're expecting. Into Medevac drop. SKillous has gone for different approaches every game so far. Stargate play, early charge, 4-gate blink. We'll see if he goes charge again. So there is that Twilight Council. Meanwhile, the initial CC is going to be delayed, not bad. Building SCV goes down. Snipe does quite heavily delay, actually. A big delay on the CC. And we actually had, yeah, there we go. We have the starports into a vengeful medevac drop. But this will slow Bunny down. Once again, we do have charge. As we mentioned at the start of the last game, like these charge-based openers, they're meant to defend against these all-ins. They're meant to keep you safe against, you know, these tank-based pushes. Meant to, but despite that, Bunny still was able to break through. We'll see if SKillous has better chance and better luck this time. There's that third. And here comes the drop. Once again, we're setting up for the add-on swap into early stim. It's the same build. It's just the same build. 3 games in a row. Which means there's a high chance we're just going to pull the boys again. Because of the delay, there are going to be maybe less SCVs to pull. It's a bit of a shakier start. Ooh, hallucination scat is denied. SKillous, he doesn't see everything yet. But let's get into the mineral line. We'll force back Bunny. Spots the third ranks. It does spot Stim that's being researched. SKillous, he knows. As far as he can tell, it does look the same setup here as last game. Everything's looking familiar. And here comes the move out. We have a tank, we have our Marines. This is an earlier push. Previously, we hit with Stim. Here, we're pushing just before. Setting up at the center of the map. Hoping to catch any stray units. SKillous setting up 8 gateways back at home to defend. Sorry, 9 gate. Jesus. He's got a 9-gate setup. The boys are being pulled. No surprises here. Once again, 2 base all in at a Bunny, hitting with Stim. Hallucination just scouted how little SCVs there were at the natural. SKillous, he knows. And SKillous is getting ready. I'm loving the sentry. He has force fields. He can force field. He can slice the army up. Likewise, SKillous, he has a flank ready. This time he's prepared, and this time he's going to be collapsing in. Yeah, from both sides. Does collapse in. Gets up the Marines. Gets up the tanks as well. And SKillous, he should be able to clean this up. As he resets the tank counts, and this time SKillous, he was ready. Against Tane build 3 games in a row. GG. GG gets called. SKillous, he shuts it down, and SKillous will force the ace match. Let's go. GG, well played. Again, the exact same build 3 games in a row that Bunny has gone for. Finally, SKillous, he does go for almost a hard counter. He had 9 gateways up and running. He had Mass Zealot. He had the surround set up as well. He was very well set up. He confirmed it, of course, with the hallucination. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match, the final game of the series, and we're expecting Bunny to switch gears here, to change things up and to go for something a little bit different. I would hope, at least. GG, well played. With that, we're going to game 5. We're loading into Persephone. One trick pony. Well, I mean, the one time that Bunny didn't go for this build, he lost. That was on Gressfan, if you recall, where he went Cloak Banshee. That was the one game where he did something different. That was game 1. Go. 2x Marauder, 1 base all in. Well, Bunny, he's known for a lot of aggression and a lot of cheese in this matchup, so maybe could see Proxy Marauder. Terran doesn't really have a lot of reliable options in this matchup. I mean, there are players that do embrace like more mid-game play as well. It's just Bunny isn't really that kind of player. Like stylistically, I mean. I think maybe that's one of the better things about TvP at the moment is that we do have a lot of variance. So for example, Kyo's been playing a lot of mech. Kyo and Gumiho, to be fair, they've been playing a lot of mech against Protoss. I think Gabe has been embracing that as well. Likewise, we've seen Bjorn, who plays a lot more 3-base heavy, a lot of very drop play heavy instead. Clem has like a mix of the two. Ethical Protoss, oh no. Kappa. They don't exist, Pappy, what do you mean? Oh no. As spawning in the top left hand corner of Persephone, we have the blue Protoss player, with the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Terran player, red Terran representing Team Falcons. It is a Bunny. Let us go. Is the water green? It is. it blends into the ether, Pappy, into the background. Ah, no. Let's go. As Bunny does mix things up for the first time in a long time, sorry, for the first time this series, Double Gas to open out of Bunny, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC, going for something more tech heavy. Okay, so Bunny, he will mix things up after the 2-base all-in finally fails. After it finally doesn't work, we do shake it up. Hero, the last honorable Protoss. Yo, TL Hero doesn't play anymore. It's the wrong hero, Pappy. It's the wrong hero. Smurge. As the factory is on the way. Technically, this can turn into a 1-base all-in, but we should be going for a delayed expansion after the factory. SKillous is here to confirm. Hero just dropped out of the ASL. Oh no. Yo, shouts at Magnath for being the only person to spell hero correctly. let's go. Este Magna knows how to spell. It's crazy, crazy. But now we're getting to our 1-1-1 Widow and drop opener out of Bunny, and so far we're selling into what looks to be a more standard game. Let's go. Let us go. Likewise, now there's a higher chance that SKillous will be opening up Blink. We'll keep an eye on him, as he's yet to confirm what Bunny's up to. Reaper Hellion does push in, shield battery's done in time, SKillous does hold, SKillous does deflect. Ooh, once again opening up charge though, okay. Charge is on the way. As we mentioned previously, this is meant to shut down these early tank pushes, these early all-ins, but we're expecting that that's not going to be the case from Bunny. Expecting. As here comes the mine drop. Blue Station's moving in. I believe we'll be able to spot the Widow Mines, and SKillous can prepare back at home. I love Hero. Oh no. It's art all over again. This drop is moving in. So far, SKillous does react in time. We'll bait out the first shot. Lose one. Lose one at the same time. Bunny does hit the natural. So far, skills, he's trying to keep up, but probes are going down. Yeah, losing up to 4, up to 5 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, rough start for SKillous. As he will lose a 6th worker. 6 probe kills, and Bunny, he gets away. He just pulls out. Does pull out. Oh, I didn't even notice there were moopies in the background. All the way in the corner of the map. Let's go. With that, a nice start for Bunny. He still has both Widowmine saved as well. Saves both Widowmine, saves the Reaper, saves the Hellion. Very efficient play here out of Bunny. And from that, Bunny getting to the mid game. Getting to his own biotank setup. Stim is almost done. Once again, early stim out of Bunny, which means he has the option to pull the boys again. He's committing. Lower SCV count. He's going to be pushing. Back at home, we have Blink on the way from SKillous. Did open charge. This Bunny does push. Stim will finish up in time as the army gets across the map. And the boys are being pulled to base all in. He got here in a different way, but he's still going for the same stim timing. And this time, SKillous is not as prepared. He's investing into production, not into army. Zealots are getting caught out, and SKillous, the pants are down. The army's not ready. Yeah, the army is not ready here. SKillous, he thought we were getting into a longer game. He's teching, throwing down production. He needs more zealots. He needs as many chargeless as he can get. As Bunny does push forward. Shield Biter's not ready. We'll bring it down. Zealots are coming in from behind. Can he get onto the first tank? Ah, not quite. Yeah, tank does survive. Shield battery goes down. SKillous is buying time for extra warp ins. He supply blocked. No. SKillous is supply blocked. He cannot warp in. He has production. He has 700 minerals in the bank, but he cannot spend his money. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. And the all-in is going to be able to work. It's going to be able to break the natural. SKillous trying to catch reinforcements. But the tanks are moving in. We have 2 pylons on the way. As the rallying tank even avoids... Okay, never mind. Rallying tank does go down. Nice save. Very nice save out of Bunny. Barely saves the tank. He's there to repair. And SKillous, he cannot keep up. Not anymore. Not without his production. Gateway's depowered. Robo depowered as well. SKillous at least catching some Marines. But we have the slow push of bunkers. Slowly moving in. Este Bunny. Jesus, that's a lot of bunkers. And again, that just means the Zealot can't engage. He cannot engage. He's going to try to, though. Does find a way in. Gets on top of 1 tank. Tank shots are brutal. Zealots are going down. Gets a 2nd tank, just barely. At the same time, Widowmine drop into the main. And Bunny's still just pushing forward. So again, pulls back. Makes use of that SimCity. We'll lose another tank. Down to 2. 2 tanks left, but now there are no zealots. Boys are being pulled. Bunny, he can stim. He can win. He can focus out the immortals. 1 goes down, the 2nd goes down. No immortals left, only zealots. And Bunny has done it. There is no army remaining, no economy either. GG. As Bunny, he will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the group stage of Maestros of the game. GG. GG, well played, Bunny. Again, all roads lead to 2-base all-in for Bunny. Ay, ay, ay. Did go for that stim 2-base all-in once. Again, he got there in a bit of a different way. It was a really nice start, getting economic damage. Unfortunately, SKillous, he was deceived. He believed that we were getting into a longer game as well. That's why he was taking up into Blink. That's why he was getting extra gateways. That's why he was getting another expansion. And that's also why he had no army. With Bunny pushing across map, there was 13 army supply. 13 army supply. That's all that SKillous had. The supply block didn't help either. The supply block was also a brutal moment for SKillous, as he was caught with his pants down. He was unprepared for the all-in. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Bunny as it does make it through. And with that, we have one series remaining. We have one series left here in tonight's broadcast. As you can see here, we do have our lineups. We have Shin advancing on over Creator. We had Trigger over Gabe. We had Bunny over SKillous. And now we have one series left. It's going to be a ZVP between Lambo and Estrella. This is going to be a rematch. This is going to be a rematch of EWC. If you recall, both of these players were in the play-in stage. The play-in stage of the Esports World Cup. And they faced off, was it in the last chance qualifier? They were also in the play-in stage as well. They were both in the play-in stage. They also did play in the last chance qualifier as well, in the global qualifier. So we have seen Lambo and Estrella face off quite a number of times, and typically has been in favor of Lambo. I would say that right now Estrella's best matchup is PVT. He's shown some very, very solid and in some ways, I would say unethical late game PVT, slowing the game down and cutting the map in half. But there's no Terran opponent here for Estrella. Instead, it is a Zerg player. So we'll see. We'll see if Estrella can redeem himself. We'll see if he can keep up. We'll see if he can take down Lambo. Best of luck. Best of luck. As it would be nice to have some more NA representation. Trigger's already in, true. Trigger, he's already in, the Canadian Protoss. We'll see if an American Protoss can join him. For now, though, we're going to be going on a break, and when we come back, we'll have that final best of 5 of the broadcast. We'll get there. They should update the score after the game. What do you mean? What do you? True, they should. They should. I think they have. Catching up. Reminds me of Coffee back in EPT when he used to NG base to force a choke. True, Tron Oxide. That was a huge moment when the Coffee pulled that off. That's also in my mind. That's burned into my memory. Big moment, big moment. No way, Lai was about to be rage baited. It's fine, it's fine. Este Magna. But yeah, with that, we're going to be going on a break, and when we come back, we'll have our next series. See you soon. See you soon after the break.